So, welcome to my corner of the universe, and it's a bank holiday weekend here in the UK. Well, it's a typical bank holiday weekend. It was bright and sunny yesterday, and then it was torrential rain. It was bright and sunny this morning. Actually, it's bright and sunny right now, and it was torrential rain a few minutes ago. I had planned on using this weekend to, I'm not a gardener, is to become a gardener, or at least a bit of a gardener. I have a small spot out the front that by the driveway that needs some planting out. So I was going to go over to a lovely place and pick out some plants and see how they go. But that's not going to happen today because it's really wet, and it's now after almost 3 o'clock, so things will be closing up fairly soon because it is a Sunday as well. So I decided that I would make a different kind of flower. And I haven't done these for a while. And we're just going to experiment here a bit. I had some, this is all felt. And I have lots of different colors. But I cut out some shapes last night. And I discovered a really long time ago is when I started making felt flowers is I made a few and they looked nice enough. Then I realized that if I embroidered them even a little bit, or even just did like I'm doing on this, just a little running stitch around, that it was all it needed to make it sort of pop and come to life. I've done some others that have done that. So let's have a little look. Here's one I made. We're going to do something similar. And that's what one looks like if it's been just been put together. So I'm just about to do the inside now, and then we'll go from there while we have a little chat. Gardening. Not really my thing. The last house I lived in, we had, I don't think I like those scissors. Let's find some other ones. Good thing in this house there's a whole bag of scissors. And I'm just going to make a little inside here, so just doing some little cuts. Last house we had a bi-level patio, which was great out the back. And I used to do container gardening, and that was fun, and that I could do. Well, I've never actually put much of anything in the ground. We'll see how we go. So I need to find something to go out the front that'll just be pretty. And I thought this year what I would do would be something that's only for this year, because it could be something I could change seasonally, and you know how much I like changing things around so that they're nice from season to season. So the deal is that in this village is that virtually every yard is beautifully kept, and the gardens of a lot of the people in this village are real envy of, well, I'm envious. My good friends down the other end of the village have a huge garden, and that's coming up beautifully, and it's going to be a really pretty garden this year. It always is. Things that they've planted out. He has quite a large greenhouse. A lot of people have greenhouses. I'm not going that far. I can't do greenhouses. I think that's one step too far for me. But something we did do on Tuesday is went to a reclamation center. I was looking for a pot to do some herbs in. In fact, funnily enough, I used to have, in fact, it's probably still at the old house, but it was getting, it was too icky underneath, rusty and stuff to move it, unfortunately. Was an old galvanized bath, a very old one. And in fact, I bought it up here at a like a boot sale or one of those kinds of things that we'd gone to for a day. And I love those sorts of places because you never know what you're going to find. And it's always that thinking out of the box of what you see and how you're going to use it. And I bought this bath, and that bath was 5 pounds. My husband Chris looked at me like I was nuts that I would spend so much money, and we're talking almost 30 years ago now, on something so silly. I had a vision that this bath would be great for herbs. Oh, look at that. I haven't finished cutting the... Oh, well, no problem. Would be great for herbs. So I thought what I'd do is to paint it black. Black is my go-to color. And then we would plant herbs at it. And I had it at the West Drayton house. I had it at the High Wycombe house. And it's 30 years older and has had water in the bottom, and it's been, anyway, it did its duty for a very long time. So I love that thing. So I wanted, as my garden now is quite small. It's plenty big enough for me. And I have a lovely gentleman who comes in and cuts the grass for me, which is brilliant. Because if I had to learn how to cut grass too, I think I would probably go nuts, or at least a little nuts. And so we went to a little shop nearby. Well, not that nearby, but as the crow flies. What's one of the things I'm getting? I need to find a physical map of the area, a paper map that I can actually put up on in the office here, so I can see where I am, because there's so many. You take little turns. The signposts come up, and it's every 5 minutes or something, and you think you know the direction you're going, and all of a sudden you're not going in that direction, but you're heading to the same place. Anyway, I get very turned around, and I don't know how one village relates to the other. I can find several places now without looking without my sat nav, although I keep the sat nav on all of the time because it seems that the speed limits change fairly drastically here. You could be going come into our village. Actually, if you go to the next big town, which is Dis, you come out of the village, which is 30 miles an hour, and then it gets to 60 miles an hour, and then it goes to 50, 40, 30, 40, 60. Anyway, it mixes all the way up. And it's really easy to get turned around as to what it's supposed to be. And of course, I'd prefer not to get a ticket. And yes, I know that these are not all the same size pedal, but that's okay. I'm trying an experiment here, and we'll see how we go. So keeping the sat nav on, or at least the map on in the car, is a good thing for me because, one, I don't get lost quite so easily, and two, I can keep checking the speed limit just in case. There are some interesting drivers, of course, around that go very quickly. You'll have farm implements, which is perfectly fine because it's a farming community, and of course you don't mind. I don't mind waiting for any of those sorts of things. I'm never in that big of a hurry to get anywhere. And so on Tuesday, my friends took me for a lovely little walk with the puppy, and then we went over to the asparagus farm, the new asparagus farm, because the old asparagus farm closed. How sad. It was great. This is asparagus season, obviously. And I've been having asparagus for most meals for the last few days. I love asparagus. I don't think I loved asparagus when I was growing up, but I certainly love it now. Anyway, so after the And also picked up some lovely cheese there, lovely goat's cheese, which I have been having with some lovely dark rye bread for the last couple of days. Oops. Nothing like hot glue to get all sticky and weird. There we go. And I just close the bottoms on these so that they have a little bit more depth. And so I picked up cheese, some asparagus. My friends picked up a lot of asparagus. They like asparagus even more than I do. And then, which one should I use? I think that'll do. And then we went to a little reclamation center that it was not the largest reclamation center I've ever been to, but a really interesting group of things. And I was looking for some kind of a tub or two for to do herbs with for my garden, because I was going to go get some herbs yesterday. I was going to go get some herbs today because the rain that made that not happen. Okay, so now that's looking okay-ish to me. But I think we're going to try something a little weirder. How many of the bigger ones do I have? I think I've got 1, 2, 3. I had a couple of longer ones. 4, 5, 6. Let's try those. Let's just try an experiment. And there were some really interesting things there. I was also looking for some garden furniture. Don't need a lot. In fact, I've been looking online for, seems like ages now, to find a little bit of garden furniture so that should somebody come over, which would be nice, then I'll have a place for everybody to sit and enjoy the outside, the weather, and the view. There's not a lot of view, but the sunsets and the clouds are lovely. I have a little fence out the back. I'm not used to quite having that be so closed in, but it's nice, and the boys like it. It's funny because after breakfast every morning, we go outside, Bonky and I, my little cat, and we, oh gosh, and he decides that that's his time for his morning snuggle. So everybody's getting used to having their own little daily plan. But as I said, it's a bank holiday weekend, and so changing your plans on a bank holiday weekend are just what you kind of have to anticipate doing, because bank holidays are bank holidays, and you never know what you're going to get. Well, you can pretty much be guaranteed it's going to rain at some point, but we'll see. So I'm going to be finishing up my little flower here, and then I think I might go and, well, I would go take a walk outside, but unfortunately I have a feeling that it would be raining as soon as I walked out the door. At least that's my excuse at the moment. But it always feels good to make something. So this is my little making thing for today. Why don't you make something for today as well? Make dinner, make something special to eat, have something special to drink. Bank holidays are a great time to sit and have a nice glass of wine with a friend, or go down to the pub and have a nice beer. Next weekend's going to be exciting because it's, I think it's, yeah, is it next weekend or 2 weeks? Anyway, I'll catch up to that. The pub will be having some nice things for celebrations, the D-Day celebrations. I think this is kind of turning out quite nice. I'm actually quite pleased with that. Anyway, from my corner of the universe to yours. And I'll post later on Facebook where how this looks, and I'll show you next week when it gets finished. From my corner of the universe to yours, have a great bank holiday weekend, no matter where in the world you are. Enjoy your day.